Singapore will be the first in Asia-Pacific region to introduce a cybersecurity labeling scheme for network-connected smart devices like Wi-Fi routers and smart home hubs.
The labels will carry ratings to indicate which devices have better security features so consumers can make informed choices. The aim is also to incentivize manufacturers to make their products more secure.
Another area of concern, the use of emerging technologies like biometric data as alternatives to passwords or to get into buildings. So this means more data is collected and could be abused.
And for more insight on cybersecurity labeling, we're joined by Tony Jarvis, Chief Technology Officer of Checkpoint Software Technologies. Thanks for joining us. Firstly, we understand that the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore will introduce these labels to two product types, Wi-Fi routers and smart home hubs. What type of risks are these products typically associated with?
Yeah, thank you. So there are a number of risks involved. One of those goes by the name of what we call a denial of service attack. And what that really means is that due to a successful cyber attack, somebody has been able to take control of a large number of these connected devices. And what they do is they use those connected devices to attack a specific website. So we've heard stories like that before, especially in Singapore. We also know that there are a lot of connected IoT devices. And what this means is that if they can be compromised, then an attacker really has control over your home. So these things do things like change the temperature, turn lights on and off. We have seen stories of attackers putting ransomware on a connected thermostat heater in a house, setting the temperature as high as possible in the middle of summer and not letting the user change that back until they made a payment. So there are a number of things that are possible.
Tony, how effective is this one piece of equipment in securing your network, especially if it's connected to other possibly vulnerable hardware and software?
Well, it's a great first step. What it does is it gives consumers a quick indication how one product compares to another at the time of purchase. And it gives them the confidence that that product is going to have some basic security features. And that's great. We also need to be aware, though, that technology can only do so much, and there is a human element involved as well. So this raises questions such as how easy are these security features going to be to understand and to turn on? And when you bring it home and set it up out of the box, that's fine. But what happens when future updates become available? Are they easy to find and install? It's very easy. We see notifications on our phones saying that we should apply updates, but for these sort of devices, it is somewhat harder.
So are you saying then that the sophistication of this technology will largely depend on the humans using it then?
Yes, that is definitely a part of how successful it's going to be, which really just means that it needs to be easy to understand and easy to use.
Well, we also understand that cybersecurity labels, they've been tried out elsewhere. How are other countries faring in their attempts so far?
Yeah, we have seen this across a number of other regions. Europe has done very similar things, so has the US, even specific countries such as Finland. So we are seeing some positive results. We know that manufacturers are changing and implementing some of these features in order to comply. Now, it's too early for statistics what sort of effect that has had on the number of successful attacks. But we do expect this to be a case of implementing the legislation, observing and monitoring the results, and then making subsequent changes as and when needed. What's really encouraging, though, is that Singapore is the first country in Asia-Pacific to implement these sorts of laws. And, of course, the hope is that others will follow, but it's a fantastic step forward.